Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to Allah Akimodio. You know, that's doing the work in sincerity and charity with humiliation all across the four winds. Alright? So today, we'll be going into a brief lesson. Pretty much the Gentiles that are being called uncircumcision, what you will find out is that they are indeed Israelites. Alright? And we doing this is because the churches believe that the Gentiles are all people. Alright? But we're going to show you that through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, that these are uncircumcision or Gentiles that are being called Gentiles are indeed Israelites. Alright? So let's start with Ephesians 2 and 8. Because when you come into this thing, this is a gift to understand these scriptures. Alright, this is a gift from the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Alright? So, give me Ephesians 2 and 8.
Alright. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 2, verse 8. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of the Most High Power, Yahweh.
God. Alright, like I say, faith is a gift. So now, what is faith? Well, let's find out. Hebrews 11 and 1. Alright.
Okay. This is Hebrews 11 and 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
Right, and that's a gift. Not everyone gets that gift. See what I said?
God.
They have to be given, right, from the Most High Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Alright? And it's given to certain people, and that certain people is the elect. Alright? So, go back to Ephesians 2 and 8 now.
Alright. This is Ephesians chapter 2 verse 8. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of the Most High Power, Yahweh.
Gone. Alright. Read.
Alright. Not of works, lest any man should boast.
Read on. Read through to 11.
For we are his workmanship, created in Yahweh Shai Mashiach unto good works, which the Most High had before ordained that we should walk in them. Wherefore, remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision, by that which is called circumcision in the flesh, made by hands.
God. Now it says here, right? It says here that who are the it says the uncircumcision. They are called uncircumcision by that which is called circumcision. Now this let you know that this is talking about a group of people. Alright? About a people, Salakia. Alright? And because it says, remember now, that ye being in time past were Gentiles in the flesh, alright, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called circumcision in the flesh made by hands. Alright? So the uncircumcision here is talking about a group of people. Read verse 11 again. Alright?
Wherefore, remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh made by hands.
God. Alright, so the circumcision now is another group of people. You see what I said?
God.
So who is this calling another group of people uncircumcision? Alright, so we see that the uncircumcision is synonymous with the Gentiles. You see what I said?
God.
Let's read verse 11 one more time.
Alright. Wherefore, remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh made by hands.
God. So why were the uncircumcised or the uncircumcision, alright, why was the uncircumcised called uncircumcision? Well, for that, let's jump up now to verse 1. Alright, Ephesians chapter 2 and 1.
Alright.
You can read from 1 to 3.
Okay. This is Ephesians chapter 2 and 1. And you had he quickened who were dead in trespass and sins, wherein in time past ye walk according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience, among whom also we all had our conversation in time past, in the lust of our flesh, fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind, and were by nature the children of wrath, even as others.
God, because we were wicked. Alright?
More to see.
Right. So that's what made Israel uncircumcised. Alright, because they fulfilled the wicked lusts and desires of their mind, which is sins. Alright? Alright, so let's jump now to the book of Romans now. Alright, chapter 3 and verse 20.
God.
Alright?
Man, it's like that, man, that's the spirit.
God.
Romans 3 and 20. Therefore, by the deeds of the law, there shall no flesh be justified in his sight. For by the law is the knowledge of sin.
Right. Just because you keep the law. Alright? Just because you keep the law and you know that you're an Israelite, you know, you're not going to be justified for that, for knowing that you're an Israelite or you keeping the law. Alright? So let's read verse 20 one more time.
Therefore, by the deeds of the law, there shall no flesh be justified in his sight. For by the law is the knowledge of sin.
God, so by the law, we know what to do and what not to do. We know the do's and the don'ts. Alright?
Okay.
So read on, verse 21.
Verse 21. But now the righteousness of the Most High without the law is manifested, being witnessed by the law and the prophets.
Read.
Even the righteousness of the Most High, which is by faith of Yahweh Mashiach unto all, and upon all them that believe, for there is no difference.
Right. So now it's explained in verse 21. Righteousness by faith in Yahweh Shai. You see what I said? Alright. So verse 22 again.
Verse 22. Even the righteousness of the Most High, which is by faith of Yahweh Mashiach unto all, and upon all them that believe, for there is no difference.
Right. So remember now, believe and faith is synonymous.
God.
They're basically the same word, same thing. Alright?
God.
Read on, verse 23.
For all have sinned and come short the glory of the Most High.
Right, so this isn't talking about all nations, because what is sin?
Transgression of the law.
God, let's pick that up. Let's read that. Alright? Because people believe that the Gentiles or the uncircumcision is basically all nations.
Right.
All right, but we're going to prove that wrong.
Right.
All right.
1 John 3 and 4. Whosoever committed sin transgresseth also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law.
God. And who was given the laws? Israel only was given the laws, statutes, and commandments. So
God.
only the Israelites could transgress the laws. All right, so you understand?
Yeah.
All right.
So I can.
So now you could go back to Romans chapter 3 and pick it up at 24. Read from 24 to 27.
All right. Being justified freely by his grace through the redemption that is in Yahushua Mashiach, whom the God of had set forth to be a propitiation through faith in his blood, to declare his righteousness for the remissions of sins that are past through the forbearance of the Most High. To declare, I say, at this time his righteousness, that he might be just and the justifier of him which believeth in Yahushua Mashiach.
Right, because boasting in your works don't mean nothing. All right, it's by the law of faith.
Okay.
All right. Now, the next verse is going to explain all of what we just read.
Okay.
All right. So, read the next verse.
All right, verse 27. Where is boasting then? It is excluded. By what law of works? Nay, but by the law of faith.
Come, but by the law of faith. All right. Read verse 28. Check this out.
Verse 28. Therefore we conclude that a man is justified by faith without the deeds of the law.
Come. All right. So a man is justified by faith without the deeds of the law. So this is saying that an Israelite is justified by faith. All right, without the deeds of the law. This is what he's saying.
Okay.
All right. So this explained from verse 24 to 27, because it says here, therefore we conclude that a man is justified by faith without the deeds of the law. You see what I said?
Okay.
Check this out now. Now this is the point right here. Verse 29.
All right, verse 29. Is he the God of the Jews only? He is not also of the Gentiles. Yes, of the Gentiles also.
Right, so now this is where people get trapped up right here.
Okay.
All right, so here you have two groups of people. You have the Jews and then you have the Gentiles. Which the churches say that the Gentile is everybody.
Right.
You see what I said? The churches say the Gentile is everybody that's not a Jew. All right, this is what trapped them up right here, because they see Gentile. Now we just you understand?
Yeah.
But anyhow, we just gonna bring it out just for edification's sake.
Okay.
All right?
Verse 30.
Yeah.
Verse 30. Seeing it is one power which shall justify the circumcision by faith and uncircumcision through faith.
Right. So remember the last verse, it says the Jews and the Gentiles. So now he is justifying the circumcision and the uncircumcision. So the circumcision would have to be a people,
Right.
and the uncircumcision is a people.
Okay.
All right. So in this case, the uncircumcision is talking about the Jews. All right. We can prove it in a little bit.
Okay.
And the uncircumcision is synonymous with the Gentiles.
Okay.
You see what I said?
Right.
Because he said, is it the power of the Jews only? or is it the power of the Jews and of the Gentiles? Because it says through faith.
Through faith.
You see what I said? So, to show you that the Jews is the circumcision, we can go precept upon precept to show you. All right? So now jump up to verse 1 now.
All right.
Check this out.
God. What advantage then had the Jew? Or what profit is there of circumcision?
Right, so that let you know that the Jew is the circumcision.
God.
You see what I said?
God.
Just let you know that the Jew is the circumcision. It's that simple.
You know.
All right? Now, go back to verse 30 now. Alright?
See, verse 30. Seeing it is one power which shall justify the circumcision by faith, and the uncircumcision through faith.
God. Alright, and we just proved to you that the Jews is the circumcision. So the uncircumcision would have to be who? The Gentiles. Which are what? Which are who? The Israelites. And who was the laws given to?
God. Remember, let's shoot down to verse 19.
You can bring it out and break it down.
Hey. Now we know that what things soever the law saith, it is said to them that under the law. Who are under the law, sorry. That every mouth may be stopped, and all the world may become guilty before the Most High.
God. Alright, so this will let you know that this is speaking of them that are under the law. Alright, and
God.
those that are under the law are the Israelites.
Are the Israelites.
Alright, so now we're going to jump over to chapter 2 now, and we're going to pick it up at verse 25.
God, alright.
Alright.
This is Romans chapter 2 and 25. For the circumcision verily profited, if thou keep the law. But if thou be a breaker of the law, thy circumcision is made uncircumcision.
Right, and what happened to the ones that was calling the uncircumcision? They were what? Breakers of the law.
Breakers of the law.
Alright. That's why they were called uncircumcised or the uncircumcision. You see what I said?
Yeah.
Because this is straightforward, man. Simple.
Simple.
Alright? Read verse 25 again, Papa Kushat.
For the circumcision verily profited, if thou keep the law. But if thou be a breaker of the law, thy circumcision is made uncircumcision.
Can't. That's simple. Alright? Read on. Read verse 28.
26. Therefore, if the uncircumcision keep the righteousness of the law, shall not his uncircumcision be counted for circumcision?
Right, because in verse 19, Salakia, it says in chapter 3 and 19, the things that are said being said to them that are under the law.
Alright.
You see what I said? Alright.
God.
So, read 27 9.
27. And shall not...
Salakia, call it scripture.
Romans 2 and 27. And shall not uncircumcision which is by nature, if it fulfill the law, judge thee, who by the letter and circumcision those transgress the law.
Read.
For 28. For he is not a Jew, which is one outwardly, neither is the circumcision, which is outward in the flesh.
Right, so once again, the Jews is synonymous with the circumcision. This is breaking it down. It's that simple.
God.
Alright. 29.
Verse 29. But he is a Jew, which is one inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart, in the spirit, and not in the letter, whose praise is not of men, but of the Most High, power Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai.
God, so remember the circumcision called the Gentiles uncircumcision. Alright, meaning to say they are what? Breakers of the law. And how do you break the law? You have to be given the law first to break the law.
God.
You see what I said?
God.
So that let you know that the Gentile is synonymous with the uncircumcision. You see what I said?
Exactly.
Simple. Alright? So we're going to get more on that. Alright, so for that, let's go to the book of Acts now, chapter 13 and 36. Alright?
So this is
Because in order for you, like I say, to be a breaker of the law, you have to be given the law.
right.
Alright?
You cannot break something you haven't been given.
That's it.
God.
You know, that's just like me saying, man, you break down my car and I never give you my car to drive to begin with. You see what I said?
Boy, I see it.
You know?
Acts 13 and 36. For David, after he had served his own generation by the will of the Most High, fell on sleep, and was laid unto his fathers, and saw corruption.
Read.
But he, whom the Most High raised again, saw no corruption.
Speaking about Yahweh Shai,
God.
read on.
But be it known unto you therefore, men and brethren, that through this man is preached unto you the forgiveness of sins, and by him all that believe it are justified from all things, from which ye could not be justified by the law of Moses.
So if the circumcision is justified by faith, and the uncircumcision is justified by faith, right? So that means when it says ye could not be justified by the law of Moses, that means that at one point in time, the uncircumcision or the uncircumcised or the Gentiles had the law of Moses. And who was given the laws of Moses?
The children of Israel.
The Israelites. You see that? So you church people out there, y'all don't know nothing. Alright? Y'all don't know nothing, man. Y'all need to damn leave those churches and come and serve the true and only living power. Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai.
God.
Alright?
And serve him in spirit and in truth.
God. Alright? So, yeah, man, that's all I had on that, to show you that the uncircumcision that are being called Gentiles are indeed the Israelites. You see what I said?
God.
Yeah. So, what else you got?
That's one I'm going to touch a little bit on saying that those who worship, those who are these some Christians, you know, when they worship, like you said a little earlier about, they need to come up with those hard houses and come and worship the true power, the true living power, Yahweh.
Bahashim Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Because this is for you. When we say y'all in the churches, we ain't talking about everybody. We talking about the Israelites.
God.
Alright? Not everybody.
You know, okay. This ain't for everybody.
And this ain't for everybody, exactly. Alright? John 4:22. Okay? For y'all inside these churches, alright, who think y'all worshiping the true power. Y'all ain't worshiping the true power because y'all calling on Serge Bougie.
Bougie, right.
You know? That's who y'all worshiping. A doggy straight hair fella. A pedophile.
God.
You know? A Kiaramite. Alright? So y'all don't know who y'all worshiping. But bowing down to the devil. Alright? John 4:22. Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship. For salvation is of the Jews.
God, for salvation is of the Jews, and that is a highly racial statement that Yahweh Shai made.
God.
Alright? Because, you know, he specifically named them. Alright?
You know?
That's it.
For 23, say, but the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshippers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him.
God. Alright, and so you have the voice be an Israelite. Alright, because the other nation, you ain't gonna worship the Most High until we get the kingdom. And we're gonna damn force you to do it.
You know? The Christians them claim that they are the true worshippers.
You know?
But they ain't the true worshippers. Because ain't nobody hate them.
That's it.
You know? Yahweh Shai say marvel not that that's roughly paraphrasing. Marvel not that the world hate you. Remember that they hated me first.
That's
You know?
it.
So hey, ain't nobody hate y'all.
That's it.
As a matter of fact, plenty people love y'all.
You know. And the thing about it too, right? You know, people see you, right? And they see you with a beard on your face. Alright? They say, well man, look at him. Alright, and these supposed to be so-called pastors. Alright? Now, they talking down on you, ridiculing you, running on with all kind of things just because you repent and you turn and come back to the Most High with all your heart. Alright? They have a problem with that.
You know?
And like I said, they ridicule and talk down on you for that.
You know?
You know? Yeah, man.
And that's what they do. Anytime they see a brother, anytime when they see a brother with beard on their face, have a rugged look, you know, they begin to some of them begin to run, or look at you as a criminal, or look at you as somebody who have a bad what do you call it? Reputation. You see? Yeah. That's how they look at you. You know? But not knowing that our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, had the same look.
That's it.
You know?
Right.
When you go to Isaiah chapter 53, I think 53 and 2. Let me get that real quick. Yeah, 53. Let me start at the top. Who had believed our report?
That's it.
And to whom is the arm of Yahweh revealed?
God.
Surely revealed to his elect.
Amos 3 and 7.
You know? For he shall grow up before, for he shall grow up before him as a tender plant and as a root out of the dry ground. He had no form or comeliness.
God.
Meaning he wasn't a handsome fella. You know? You can imagine them Christians, them worshiping their Jesus, and they have an image in their mind.
A white man.
A white doggy straight hair, pretty boy, image inside their head, and they saying that's their Lord and Savior.
God.
So most of them they looking for a pretty boy to save them.
God.
You know? You hear the scripture say, he had no form nor comeliness. When we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him.
God. Alright. And that's a good precept too, man. You know, because when you come into this, you know, like I say, you know, even your own family and things talk down. Well, me. You know, if I be there back home, man, they give me a hard time. Not all of them, you know, because some of them actually heard me speak, because, you know, people tend to say things about you and they go based off of what people say until they hear you speak. You know, and the thing about it is these people who are talking these things can't even read. You see what I said? They have no knowledge of the scriptures or nothing, but then they have the most to say. Alright? So, moving along now, right? What I want to touch on too is, I want to touch on a little bit about the grafting in. Alright, because someone said something yesterday that the Lord, the Jews cast away, the Jews rejected our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai, which that point, part of that is true, but it didn't say all of them. Alright, it didn't say all of them. Alright, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go into give me Romans chapter 11. We can touch a little bit on that.
Alright.
About on the grafting, because a lot of people, they don't understand that. You know, there's this particular guy, like I say, he claims to be a Hebrew Israelite, but he don't understand the grafting. That's why if you go on to the Gentiles and non-circumcision.
Can't.
You see what I say? And so from time to time, we got to go back over these same topics, you know, to give people the understanding of it. You see? So, check it, take it from the top. Check this out.
This is Romans chapter 11, verse 1. I say then, had the Most High cast away his people?
Right, and this proves that not all of the Jews rejected Yahweh. Read.
Yahweh forbid.
You see that? So he hasn't cast away his people. God forbid, meaning no. Read.
For I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin.
Gone. Alright, so now what we're going to do, we're going to jump down to verse 16 now.
Alright. Verse 16, Romans chapter 11. Alright. For if the first fruit be holy, the lump is also holy. And if the root be holy, so are the branches.
Right. So now, Paul is painting the image of a tree. Alright? So this is what you have to put in your head. Alright, now we understand subject matter.
Okay.
Remember we did a lesson on that the other day.
Yeah.
The subject matter, predicate, and pronoun. Alright, so the subject matter here is Israel, going back to verse 1. So you can't apply that to everybody.
Nope.
It don't work like that.
It don't work.
So anyhow, here in verse 16, Paul is painting the image of a olive tree. Alright?
Okay.
Now, let's read the next verse now, 17.
Alright. And if some of the branches be broken off,
Right?
and thou, being a wild olive tree, wert grafted in among them, and with them partakers of the root and fatness of the olive tree.
Done. Alright? Now it said some of the branches be broken off. That was us falling away from our heritage and going into slavery and captivity and becoming what? Gentiles.
Okay.
We lost our heritage of who we was as a people.
Right.
You see what I say? Not all of us, because the scripture says there in Sirach, you know, that he had basically paraphrasing, dwelled from generation to generation. So there's always someone who always knew that they were Israelite that passed it on.
Okay.
Alright? So now we're going to get a couple of examples, alright, in the scriptures to show you that those that were grafted in are indeed Israelites. Alright, so the first precept we're going to hit, alright, to prove this point is Isaiah. Give me Isaiah chapter 5. Alright, and we're going to take it from the top.
Alright. This is Isaiah chapter 5, starting at 1. Now will I sing to my well-beloved a song of my beloved touching his vineyard? My well-beloved had a vineyard in a very fruitful hill, and he fenced it, and gathered out the stones thereof, and planted it with the choicest wine, and built a tower in the midst of it, and also made a wine press therein. And he looked that it should bring forth grapes, and it brought forth wild grapes.
You see that? The same thing is being said in Romans chapter 11.
Yeah.
Alright, but a wild olive tree. Read that voice there again.
Alright, verse 2. Isaiah 5 and 2. And he fenced it, and gathered out the stones thereof, and planted it with the choice wine, and built a tower in the midst of it, and also made a wine press therein. And he looked that it should bring forth grapes, and it brought forth wild grapes.
And it brought forth what? Wild grapes. Which showing you that the grapes and the wild grapes are the same grapes.
Same grape, same thing.
Alright. But now it's gonna call those grapes and those wild grapes by name. Let's read on.
Verse 3. And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem.
You see that? O inhabitants of Jerusalem. Read.
And men of Judah.
And men of Judah. Right? Which lets you know that this is speaking about who? The nation of Israel.
God.
Alright? Read on.
Judge I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard. What could have been done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it? Wherefore, when I looked that it should bring forth grapes, it brought forth wild grapes.
That's it. All right. You see what I said? Before he said it.
44.
Read on.
45. And now go to. I will tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away the hedge thereof, and it shall be eaten up, and break down the wall thereof, and it shall be trodden down.
Gone. All right, and this is going into what some of the if thou being a wild olive tree were broken off. You see where this is going?
Gone.
All right. Read that voice. What is 16 again in Bingham? Romans or 17?
That's Romans 11 and 17.
Yeah.
All right. And if some of the branches be broken off, and thou, being a wild olive tree, would graft in among them.
Right. Read the voice. Read that one more time. Read the from the top.
All right. For 17. Romans 11 and 17. And if some of the branches be broken off,
and some of the branches be broken off. Read.
and thou, being a wild olive tree, were grafted in among them, and with them partakers of the root and fatness of the olive tree.
Can now go back to Isaiah and the last voice. We just reading Isaiah.
Isaiah this 5 and 4.
All right, read it.
5 and 4.
5 and 5. Yeah.
5. Yeah. 45. Isaiah 5 and 5. And now go to. I will tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away the hedge thereof, and it shall be eaten up,
Right.
and break down the wall thereof, and it shall be trodden down.
Right, and this is the branches that were being broken off.
God.
You see what I said?
Exactly.
All right, read on.
46. And I will lay it waste. It shall not be pruned, nor digged, but there shall come up briars and thorns. I will also command the clouds that they rain no rain upon it.
That's the branches being broken off. That's the grapes being turned into wild grapes.
God.
All right, but then the point is they are still grapes. You see what I'm saying?
God.
So those same grapes represents the nation of Israel, like it said, the inhabitants of Jerusalem and the men of Israel,
God.
which are the Israelites.
Right.
So, which means they always was a part of the tree. That's why they were being grafted back in.
God.
All right, you can't take a orange tree and graft a guava tree. That ain't gonna work.
That no.
You see what I said?
Yeah.
That ain't gonna work. Because okay, see what happened, right? And that goes for the seed as well. You see what I saying? Then we're gonna get an example of why that seed can't work. All right. Where you is?
47 now.
All right, read 7.
Alright. 47, Isaiah 5 and 7. For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah his pleasant plant. And he looked for judgment, but behold, oppression, for righteousness, but behold, a cry.
Gone, that's it?
Yeah.
Right. All right, so that's the branches being broken off. Now let's get the book of Jeremiah, chapter 11, and we can start at 16. All right.
This is Jeremiah chapter 11, and verse 16. Yahweh called thy name a green olive tree.
Right. It's the same olive tree which is being spoken about in
Revelation,
Romans chapter 11. You see that? Read.
A green olive tree, fair and of goodly fruit, with the noise of a great tumult. he had kindled fire upon it, and the branches of it are broken.
Right, like it says in Romans 11. He's here, Isaiah. Okay, read on.
For Yahweh of hosts that planted thee had pronounced evil against thee, for the evil of the house of Israel and of the house of Judah, which they have done against themselves to provoke me to anger in offering incense unto Baal.
Right, so this let you know that those branches that were being broken off in Romans chapter 11, they are already Israelites. That's why they could be grafted back in.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Let's get another example. Give me Ezekiel chapter 37, start at 15.
Alright.
Alright, which let you know that this is speaking about grafting.
Okay. Okay. This is Ezekiel chapter 37 and 15. The word of Yahweh came again unto me, saying, Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick, and write upon it for Judah, and for the children of Israel his companions.
You see that? Take thee one stick, and write upon it for Judah and his companions, and for Israel. Right?
Okay.
Alright, which let you know what? That they are all Israelites. So
Okay.
it's to take thee one stick, because remember we are broken now.
Right.
Kingdom split.
Right.
You see what I said? So now we're gonna graft them back together.
Okay.
Read on.
Alright. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel his companions,
You see that? Read.
and join them one to another into one stick,
And join them one to another into one stick, which is graft.
which is grafted in.
Well, I tell you, eh? You see that?
And they shall become one in thine hand.
Can. Alright? So, this lets you know that those that can be grafted in, alright, are already Israelites, not the other nations. Now, we're going to show you why, alright, the other nation, why this can't work. Now, let's go back and read now Romans chapter 11 and verse 17.
Romans 11 and 17. And if some of the branches be broken off, and thou, being a wild olive tree, wert grafted in among them, and with them partakest of the root of the root and fatness of the olive tree.
Gone. Alright, so now let's show you why this can work. Alright, so we already found out that those that were broken off, the olive tree that Paul is speaking about, we just find out that they are Israelites. Alright, now let's find out why the other nations can't get in this. Give me Leviticus 19 and 19.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay. This is the book of Leviticus chapter 19 and 19. Ye shall keep my statutes. Thou shalt not let thy cattle gender with a diverse kind. Thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed. Neither shall a garment mingle of linen and of woolen come upon thee.
Right. So the Lord is saying you shouldn't sow a field with mingled seed. Right? So the mingled seed is what? You have the other nations.
Okay.
Alright? You can't mingle them in and say, well, this can work. No. That ain't gonna work, because check this out. Right? Give me Revelation chapter 13 and 10. Alright?
Okay.
This is why this ain't gonna work.
Okay.
The Lord deals with nations. Alright?
Revelation 13 and 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
You see that? Here is the patience and faith of the saints. Now, before I go into that, I want a scripture in the Apocrypha. Give me 1 Maccabees chapter 2 and 10. All right, before I answer that. All right, because it says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. All right, he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patient and faith of the saints.
Okay.
This is why the other nations can't be grafted in. All right.
This is 1 Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 10. What nation had not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils?
Right. Okay, what nation has not had a part of the nation of Israel? Right? Basically, all nations take advantage of us.
Okay.
All nations are us in slavery. The scripture says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Okay.
So, if these supposed to be these natural Gentiles grafted in, who can get lead into captivity and who's going to get killed?
Who's it right?
You see what I said? That ain't going to work. Because when did the nation of Israel had the Moabites in captivity? When did the Israelites have the Ammonites in captivity? All right? The Elamites. All right? The Edomites.
Yeah.
You see what I said? When?
Why I don't know.
So that can work.
Can't be, and you know, we know that the Lord is all about balance.
That's it.
You know.
So now, check this out, right? Give me Deuteronomy chapter 23. I believe it's, let me see it when you get there. It's verse 3, I think it is.
Deuteronomy 23 and 3.
Right. Check this out. Check this out.
Okay.
What is?
This is Deuteronomy chapter 23 and 3. An Ammonite or a Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of Yahweh. Even to their 10th generation shall they not enter into the congregation of Yahweh forever.
God, so I guess he lied then. You see what I saying? According to the Christian church, he lied.
Yeah, you know that.
You see what I said? You see, they don't have understanding of the scriptures.
Not at all.
You see that, right? Okay, so that is why those ones that are being grafted in were already Israelites.
God.
You see what I said? So the other nations can't have no part in that, because if they try to get, like I say, grafted in, then that means Revelation 13 and 10 is void.
Right.
You see what I said?
See.
Alright. Because when you read Romans chapter 11, it opened up with Israel and it closed with Israel.
God.
You see what I said?
Exactly.
Alright. So you have anything else to add to that?
No,
Alright. Anything else? So we could probably close down.
yeah, you can close down.
Alright, so with that, we hope that you were edified. So I want to say all praises is due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to Allah Akim, who is doing the work in sincerity and charity with humiliation all across the four winds. To you I salute. Shalom.
Shalom.